All right, hi 10th grade, we're gonna give this a go. I've been making quite a few videos today, so I'm just getting around to making your guys's. So we'll just get started and go through this. So here's the thing. Let's first pop on over to grade links. I've got like a screen share thing I can do here. And let me show you what we'll be working with there. So I should be up in the corner right here. And there we go. All right, so basically when you log on to GradeLink, this is what it's gonna look like when you go to the teacher pages. So you need access to GradeLink. So get the login information from your parents, or I can get that to you if you need it, because I've got access to all of that now. So just make sure that you're able to come into this and look at this, as it's going to have all your assignments, any kind of updates or information. And I'll send out emails if I do update anything that's necessary to inform you about, but otherwise just check here and I'll update this every Friday and add additional assignments and so on and so forth. So speaking of assignments, while we're doing this online thing, all assignments are going to be due on the date listed by midnight, and we're defining that as 11:59 p.m., just so there's no issue there. So for Monday, for today, you should have Chapter 1 and the organizer completed by 11:59 p.m. that night. And of course, all of your written assignments are going to be completed through Google Docs, so it is easy to for me to grade them and see them and give you feedback and that kind of thing. And then we'll just go from there. So basically when you come here, this will not look like this anymore because I'll have uploaded this particular video there. But you're just seeing everything else that I'll explain what we're going to do. So looking at these other pages, there's some stuff in here that you guys can go through and look at. But we're going to look at the orientation thing first, just so you guys can see that and explain some things. So basically this first paragraph is just explaining that you guys are going to have assignments on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays that will be due. But other than that, Tuesdays and Thursdays, as I'm doing with all the other classes, you will not have assignments due on those particular days, which means that you should spend those days working on the stuff in advance. The biggest part about all of this is that it's going to be really self-directed because you're not going to have really the guidance of your teachers as much while we're doing this online home learning thing. And because of that, it's going to require a lot more responsibility on your guys' part, but I know you can do it. And it's really going to be a good preparation for college and beyond, especially when you guys start doing some dual enrollment stuff later on as you get a little bit older. So basically, we're going to treat To Kill a Mockingbird in much the same way that we treated The Great Gatsby when you guys read a couple of chapters, hit a chapter organizer, and then we discussed the section of chapters. So this week you'll be doing chapters 1 through 3. You've only got to make an organizer for chapter 1 and just simply read chapters 2 and 3, and then watch a lecture video of me going over some stuff with you. But basically, other than that, it should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward to go through, and we'll just see what we can do there. So I'm always going to have my phone close by if you need me. So if you're not on the Remind thread and you need to be added to that, let me know. I think all of us are on there. I think I have every one of you on there, but if not, let me know and we'll get you in on that. And I'm also going to have office hours, which is when I'll be most available to you all over Google Hangouts. So I'm literally going to be sitting right here at my desk for 2 hours, or I'll have my phone close by with Hangouts turned on from 2 to 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you need me. Just keep in mind that that's going to be open to all 50 students, and so for that reason, you may have to wait a little bit or just stay in your little square until I finish with another one or something like that. You can reserve a spot with a time slot of 15 minutes, and we'll make that happen on a first-come, first-served basis. But otherwise, I'll be available through email and Remind. But as you see here, if you send anything after 10 p.m., don't expect anything until the next morning. Make sure you do all of this stuff right here on this 1, 2, 3 if you haven't already. But I think we should be good with most of you. So let's check out the schedule. Let me see what we got going on here. So obviously, you're watching this video. You've done that much. That'll look different once I have it uploaded there. And then what you're going to do today is you are going to read the first chapter of To Kill a Mockingbird. And then you will complete the chapter organizer for chapter 1. And I've given you another question for the paragraph response section like you guys did for Gatsby. So make sure you have a good thing there. I'm going to say 6 sentences at minimum is what I need from you guys there. But I've given you a question here to pursue for those of you that may need a little bit more structure rather than just an open-ended response. You can keep it open-ended if you would like to, because I know some of you really value that and really enjoy that. But for those of you that need a little bit more help, you can answer this particular question. What do you think about Scout as a narrator? What makes her a strong character kind of thing? So That's what you'll need to do there. But again, remember that on these chapter organizers, you need to include excerpts from the text that reflect something of significance or importance of those provided elements. And remember, you're not just simply finding passages that refer to these elements. So like one of your things says something about Macomb, Alabama. That's the setting. That doesn't mean that you just find something from the text that says Macomb and put it in there. You need to find something important about Macomb, something of great significance, not just name dropping Macomb in the quote. Is what you need to look for. And so that's going to require a little bit of digging, but as you're reading, you can try to pay attention for those things, and they should be pretty easy to find because the setting is basically a character in this book for sure. So also with these paragraph questions, as it says, the questions will always ask you to analyze some aspect of the chapter in addition to providing you with something upon which you can provide your own opinion. And that goes the same way for like what you do for reading cards. You're not just analyzing, you're analyzing and responding. So make sure you do both of those and put some of yourself into it and go from there. But with this chapter organizer, we'll just go ahead. I'm going to show you guys what I want to do, and then I'll go through the rest of the schedule and explain how that's going to work. So if you guys click on this, I'm going to open it in a new tab so it's easier to see. Actually, I think I already had it open here. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Now, as you notice, this is significantly less than what you normally had to do, because with Gatsby, I would have you draw a picture in 3 colors and then do like the 3-color analysis thing. Obviously, this is online and you can't draw on this unless you print it off and scan it in, but that's a lot of work, and I don't know who has an electronic scanner and who doesn't, so we're just going to simplify things and make things a lot easier on you guys, because I know you're already juggling a lot in this super quick shift to online stuff, and I don't know how much work your other teachers are going to give you, so I'm going to try to keep things as simple as possible, and maybe we'll finish this whole book in a month online, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if we will, but we'll see what happens. So for chapter 1, you've got 4 things here: family ties, the Radleys, they're a family in the book, Innocence or Scout, those are both related. Scout is your narrator, and then Macomb, Alabama as the setting. So find 4 things that have to do with that. There's a lot of family ties in the opening of the book. That's basically what the entire opening is about. And then in your paragraph response, just write me 6 sentences in here. So all you have to do is just click in here and just write stuff. But what I want you guys to do is I actually want you to make a copy of this particular thing. So a way that you can do that is if you go to, well, first of all, this is the part of the video that you can pause and go back and watch, or open in another window and look at this while you do this, because it's pretty straightforward. But what I want you to do is you will click File right here, and then you can go to Make a Copy. And then what you're going to do is you're going to name this as it says over here. So for example, I use Luke's last name. So you'll put your last name and then chapter 1. So basically I would put Marsh, comma, chapter 1, and that's going to let me know who it's from when I'm grading it. Except you'll put your last name there, of course. And then all you have to do is hit OK. That'll open a new tab. You can close out the other one. And then it's already titled for you up here, and then you can just use this as you need to. Now also, you move my head over here. What you'll need to do after that is click the share button up here in the top right corner, and then you'll put my email address, amarshRCA@gmail.com. Make sure that the edit thing is selected. It should do it automatically, but sometimes it's a little tricky. And then you'll just click send, and that will immediately share it with me. Now you can do that as quickly as when you first open this. That's what I would prefer, so you don't forget, because I can't grade it and I will have to count it as a 0 if I don't get it through this way. Because then this allows me to come in and give you suggestions, give you commentary, give you feedback, and actually put your grade on this particular thing once you do that. And it'll help me keep things organized, as everybody's going to be sending me stuff. So if I give you a pre-made chapter organizer like this, you'll follow those steps every time. It's just, you go to File, you make a copy, you name it correctly, and share it with me, and then you can go through the work. Now, with the midnight deadline, I can check history on these documents and make sure that you completed it before midnight with timestamps and stuff, so just be aware of that. Make sure that you've actually done that, and then we should be able to figure things out from there. Okay, so now that we're back to here, let me go through the rest of the week, explain what you're going to do. So that's all for Monday. Now, on Tuesday, you're off, but you can go ahead and get a head start on reading the chapters. So on Wednesday, you are simply just going to read chapters 2 through 3. You don't have to do an organizer for those chapters. And then you'll take a quiz on chapters 1 through 3, which is going to be linked later. I'm going to make that probably tonight or tomorrow. And it'll be a Google form. So you'll have to log in with the Gmail address with the one that you're using for all of this. And there'll be a question to put your name on it. And then you'll just have like a couple of multiple choice, a couple of short answers. They'll be really easy. I think I'm just thinking about doing like a 10 question thing. And it should be fairly straightforward. Just some stuff about the characters and like who's who and like what characters' roles are and that kind of thing. And that'll pretty much be it. It'll be really easy because these first 3 chapters just kind of set up the world, basic exposition. You guys will be able to do this pretty easily. Now, after you do both of those things, and I want you to do both of those things first. You read the chapters, then you take the quiz, and then there will be a lecture video in which I will probably most likely have a couple of Google slides up, and I'll put myself in the corner like this, and then you guys will be able to just follow along with the presentation as we go through that. And you can just take some notes on that. Now, Friday, this is where things are going to get interesting. We are going to have a Google Hangout Socratic seminar at 9:30 a.m. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to send an email invitation at 9:20 a.m. that morning to your email address. All you will need to do is, if you have Hangouts downloaded to your phone or you're doing this through a computer with a webcam, all you will need to do is just click on that, and that will automatically take you to Google Hangouts, or it will open the Google Hangouts application. And then we're just going to try to have a classroom-style discussion, Socratic seminar, like we would with everything else. And it'll give me a good chance to catch up with you guys because, you know, it's been 2 weeks since I've seen any of you guys, and like I'm really starting to miss all of you. And this is just weird. I'm looking at a screen talking to myself, and it's just I don't like it. I'd rather be, you know, teaching you guys than looking at a screen of my own ugly face. So that's that. I've got a friend in the room with me, and he's laughing at that. So that's what that is. So anyway, so yeah. So your Socratic seminar questions, they will be available right here. So you can just go through there, click on these. The grading's right there. You've got 6 questions. Go ahead and prepare some talking points for. Just make sure you're familiar with these. As long as you say 4 quality comments, you'll get an A, and then along down the line, I explain everything right there. So that's pretty straightforward. Don't know how to do that. I believe that's everything. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll keep this updated as best as possible. So just let me know if you've got any questions. And I'm kind of looking forward to this to see how things are going to work, see how things are going to go from here. It should be fairly interesting, but the biggest thing that I have to stress to all of you guys is just stay focused. Make sure that you're keeping on top of things, because I have no idea how much work your other classes are requiring of you. So that's why I'm trying to keep things a little bit easier on us. And then the other thing that I really want to stress to you all is To Kill a Mockingbird is probably one of the most famous books in American literature. It's up there on the same level with The Great Gatsby, just because of what it did and what it says and how it says it. But instead of giving you a long, drawn-out lecture on the context and the historical context and like what Harper Lee, her biography was and all of that stuff, this is one of those books that you can truly just jump into and read. So I'm not going to give you any of that stuff because you don't need it. The book stands on its own, and I want to just give you guys that opportunity to just jump into it and start reading it and start analyzing it for what it's saying and, you know, the depth of it. And, you know, it's fairly interesting how it starts off, and how the narration works. And there's some interesting things in there we'll talk about, or that I'll talk about in my lecture for Wednesday. But I want to give you guys the freedom to just jump in and just read something, and we'll just see where we come from that, because it's pretty powerful and how it can just stand on its own. So I'm not going to give you any other context other than that. It's during the Great Depression. That's all you need to know. Great Depression in the South, in a random backwater town in Alabama. And if you know that much, that's really all you need to know. So other than that, I'm not going to give you anything else. So just go from that. If you've got any questions, again, office hours Tuesday, Thursday, 2 to 4. And then if you need something, just text me or email me, and I will get back to you ASAP. So I will see you guys on Friday.